Hello everyone. Welcome back to another video. In today's video, we got an interesting topic to discuss. Also guys, if you have any video ideas, let me know and I will consider doing them. It takes a long time to edit and research stuff, so I will put more videos out when I am not too busy. Anyways, this video was requested from someone, and we will be discussing the top 25 land non-dinosaur predators. Most of you may assume that dinosaur theropods like the tyrannosaurs, Giganotosaurus, Allosaurus, Dromaeosaurids, and many others to be the most terrifying land predators. But what about the non-dinosaur ones? Have you ever wondered what actually lived besides the theropods that took over the lands? There are many terrestrial animals that walked our Earth that were non-dinosaurs that were just as deadly, but definitely not as big as the megatheropods, but very overlooked. Examples are giant proto-mammals that looked like a reptile and mammal hybrids, and even giant land archosaurs or land crocodiles that walked on long legs, and even some massive mammals who were bigger than polar bears. It is a very diverse list of animals that were non-dinosaur terrestrial, huge predators. Also, as you should know, some of these animals' sizes change all the time, and it is hard to find reliable and accurate estimates for some of these animals. And even some sizes are subject to change after this video. I did my best, and if I got any information wrong, you can comment. At number 25, we have Deuterosaurus. This bear reptile-looking animal lived about 269 to 264 million years ago in the Permian period. Deuterosaurus was found in Siberia, which in the Permian was dominated by temperate lowlands. It is an extinct genus of dinocephalian therapsids, one of the non-mammalian synapsids. The skull was around 80 centimeters long, 2 feet 6 inches, with a long snout and conical teeth. Like all ankylosaurs, the skull possessed long dagger-like canine teeth. The group possessed about 5 species and was thought to have been an omnivorous hunter. Deuterosaurus was also thought to have been around 6 meters long and 1.5 meters in height and a mass of 566 plus kilograms, but this is only an estimate and could be smaller. At number 24, we have Titanophonius potens. This crazy-looking animal lived about 272 to 259 million years ago in the Permian. The remains of Titanophonius have been found at Ishivo in Russia. Titanophonius was part of the Antiosaurid family, like the creature we just covered at number 25. The adult skulls are about 80 plus centimeters long and had vicious teeth. It was the top predator where it lived. This predator would have hunted large creatures like the Ulemosaurus. Also, the name Titanophonius translates to Titanic murderer, that I found pretty interesting. Unlike the more well-known Inostrancevia, this killer had a more robust build and grew even bigger. The size of this animal was about 6 meters long and 1.5 meters tall, and weighed about 544 plus kilograms. At number 23, we have Agriotherium africanum. This massive bear lived about 13.6 to 2.5 million years ago in the Miocene to Pleistocene. This bear was a relative of the short-faced bears. They had longer legs and shorter faces than other bears, and were more lightly built. Their wide, short jaws could generate enormous bite force. With its very large size, it would have been necessary to steal and defend kills in environments dominated by some of the most powerful, carnivorous mammals that have ever lived, such as the saber-toothed cat Amphimacheirotus, with whom it shared territory in both Afro-Eurasia and North America, and the bone-cracking canid epicyon and the massive feliform saber-toothed Barbarophilus. This bear was about 2 meters long and 1.64 meters tall, and weighed anywhere between 500 to 650 kilograms. At number 22, we have the 3 cave bears. In this category, I will mention 3 species of the biggest brown bears, since they are all similar in size. They all lived around 17,000 years ago, and some 10,000 years ago in the Pleistocene. We have Ursus spelaeus, the original cave bear, at around 2.43 meters long and 1.5 meters tall and about 500 kilograms and possibly 800 kilograms maxed. But that is debatable. This cave bear is thought to have been more herbivorous than other bears, meaning it preferred berries and food of that sort than meat. The other cave bear was Ursus ingressus and was about 2.43 meters long and 1.4 meters tall and weighed 500 to 800 kilograms, so about the size of the bear we just covered. The biggest brown bear was the steppe brown bear and was more carnivorous than the other brown bears we just mentioned. It was about 2.74 meters long and 1.61 meters tall and weighed 500 to 1,000 kilograms according to the most reliable estimates. Anyways, these massive bears competed with big cats like the cave lion and possibly scavenged kills when they can. At number 21, we have the massive bear dogs. These animals lived anywhere between 27 to 7 million years ago in the Oligocene to Miocene. Some species lived in North America and Africa. Again, we have more animals of the same group that are extremely similar in size, so we have to mention them. Before we do the bear dogs, they are not dogs or bears, but a close relative of bears, and some of the group actually gave rise to the bears as well. They had powerful jaws and forelimbs and claws. These animals are basically the more predatory bears. Some ate large horses and even early relatives of elephants. They were thought to probably have an omnivorous diet as well. Amphision ingens was 2.5 meters long and 1.3 meters tall and 500 to 600 kilograms. The next bear dog was Amphision longirimus and was about 2.6 meters long and 1.5 meters tall and possibly weighed around 600 to 700 kilograms. The other Amphision was Amphision giganteus. It was about 2.5 meters long and 1.4 meters tall and weighed 600 to 750 kilograms. The final and biggest bear dog was Pseudocyon and was possibly 2.7 plus meters long and 1.6 plus meters tall and weighed 774 kilograms with its specimen estimate. Some of these killers grew to the size of polar bears and were definitely more deadly given their more predatory nature. At number 20, we have Saurosuchus galilei. This land crocodile lived about 231 to 225 million years ago in the late Triassic. It is an extinct genus of large loricatan pseudo-bensuchian archosaurs that lived in South America. Saurosuchus was a large rauisuchian. It has a deep laterally compressed skull. The teeth are large, recurved, and serrated. The skull is wide at its back and narrows in front of the eyes. The skull roof and maxilla are somewhat pitted. This killer had powerful jaws and was a relative of Postosuchus and other archosaurs. Saurosuchus was about 7.5 meters long and 1.5 meters tall and weighed about 590 to 682 kilograms and maybe more. At number 18, we have the tyrant polar bear. This bear is a controversial extinct subspecies of polar bear. It lived about 70,000 million years ago on the Pleistocene. Ursus maritimus tyrannus is known from a single fragmentary ulna found in the gravels of the Thames at Kew Bridge, London. It was named by the Finnish paleontologist Bjorn Curtin in 1964. It was probably similar to our modern-day polar bears, but much bigger. However, an unpublished reinvestigation of the fossil suggests that the fossil is actually a brown bear. So who knows? An adult is thought to have been 3.5 meters long and 1.7 meters tall and possibly 1,088 kilograms. At number 17, we have Andrewsarchus mongoliensis. This killer is an extinct genus of mammal that lived during the Middle Eocene in China about 45 to 36 million years ago in the Eocene. Andrewsarchus was thought to have been the biggest mammal predator ever at 4 tons, remember that? Also, it was thought to look like a giant wolf-like animal, but it looked more like a hippo-pig-like animal. It was downsized to about 800 kilograms and possibly 1,000 kilograms maximum. This creature was a relative of hippos and entelodons and was an omnivorous predator. It would have no competitors besides Sarcastodon, another predator around the size of a large brown bear. The skull of this giant was about 3 feet long, making it one of the biggest mammalian terrestrial predators ever. The length of this animal was about 3.65 meters and 1.52 meters tall as well. At number 16, we have the North American short-faced bear, Arctodus simus. This well-known bear lived about 12,800 years ago. The South American Arctotherium is the cousin of Arctodus, just in case you get confused. Arctodus simus was an omnivore, also a top predator, being able to pursue prey and steal kills from big predators like smilodons and American lions during its time. These bears had very robust skulls compared to other bears with longer legs. Arctodus belongs to the Trimarctinae subfamily of bears, which are endemic to the Americas. Of these short-faced bears, Arctodus was the most widespread in North America. The North American short-faced bear was about 2.74 meters long and 1.82 meters tall and weighed 600 to 957 kilograms and possibly an estimated 1,200 kilograms maximum. At number 15, we have Titanosuchus ferox, another Permian predator. This big guy was an extinct species of dinocephalian therapsids that lived in the Middle Permian epoch in South Africa, about 265 million years ago. Its teeth included sharp incisors and fang-like canines perfect for biting prey. Titanosuchus was a carnivore and possibly hunted animals like moshups. This massive animal was about 5.3 meters long and 2 meters tall. There is no reliable mass for this animal, but if I had to guess, it would be pushing 1,200 kilograms judging by its bulk. Number 14, we have Daeodon shoshuensis. Daeodon is an extinct genus of entelodont even-toed ungulates that inhabited North America about 23 to 20 million years ago during the latest Oligocene and earliest Miocene. This killer had a massive 3-foot skull filled with teeth for crushing prey and bone. It was also omnivorous as well, being able to switch up its diet. This giant basically had no competition besides bear dogs like Amphicyon ingens if the bear dog wanted a death sentence. The Daeodon was thought to have been the biggest entelodon, but its cousin Paraentelodon was even bigger. The size of this animal was about 3.35 meters long and 2.07 meters tall and weighed anywhere between 900 to 1,200 kilograms. Number 13. We have Razanandrongobe sakalavi. It is a genus of carnivorous Xiphosuchian crocodiliform from the Middle Jurassic of Madagascar, about 167 to 164.7 million years ago. Razanandrongobe shows a number of adaptations to a diet containing bones and tendons, including teeth with large serrations and bony structures reinforcing its palate and teeth. The size for this land crocodile by Dal Sasso and colleagues inferred a body shape similar to the Barusuchidae, producing an overall length of 7 meters, a height at the hip of 1.6 meters of 800 to 1,000 kilograms. Number 12, we have Dentaneosuchus crassiproridus. Dentaneosuchus is a genus of large-bodied cebicid crocodilomorph from the Middle Eocene about 11.8 million years ago. The skull of Dentaneosuchus was altirostral, meaning that unlike in modern crocodilians, it was higher than it was wide. This is clearly shown by the preserved premaxilla. It was a top predator of its environment and being able to walk well on all fours. Dentaneosuchus was also a relative of its bigger cousin Baranasuchus. The size of this land crocodiliform was about 6 meters long and 1.6 meters tall, and possibly around 1,000 plus kilograms, and this is just an estimate and could maybe be even bigger. Number 11, Smoke walleski. This is an extinct genus of large carnivorous archosaur. It lived during the latest Triassic period, latest Norian to early Rhaetian stage, between 208.5 to 205 million years ago. It is larger than any other known predatory archosaur from the late Triassic or early Jurassic of Central Europe. The relation of smoke to other archosaurs has not yet been thoroughly studied. It may be a Rauisuchid, Prestosuchid, an Ornithosuchid pseudosuchian part of the crocodilian lineage of archosaurs or a theropod dinosaur. It is basically a big question mark as of right now. It also has several features that link it with primitive archosauromorphs, including the presence of a postfrontal bone on the skull and a closed acetabulum in the hip. It could have hunted big game like Lysowitia, and the size of this animal is estimated at 6 meters long and 2 meters tall, but no mass estimates yet. I would assume it could push over 1,000 kilograms. At number 10, we have Arctotherium angustidens. It is an extinct genus of the Pleistocene short-faced bears endemic to Central and South America about 10,000 years ago. They are genetically closer to the spectacled bear Tremarctos ornatus than to Arctodus of North America, implying the two extinct forms evolved large size in a convergent manner. This animal was thought to have been the biggest land predator ever, but some controversies about its 1,700 kilogram estimate from some sources. A paleo artist from DeviantArt gave this animal a smaller size range, and even on ResearchGate, there are sources it only maxed out around 1,200 kilograms. I am not 100% sure what the size of this animal is, but I hear tons of different sizes for it. I have a quick honorable mention: Megalania. Varanus priscus, or Megalania, was a massive monitor lizard that lived in Australia during the Pleistocene about 40,000 years ago. It was the biggest lizard ever and probably hunted like today's Komodo dragon. While originally Megalania was considered to be the only member of the titular genus Megalania, today it is considered a member of the genus Varanus, being closely related to other Australian monitor lizards. The lack of complete or nearly complete fossil skeletons has made it difficult to determine the exact dimensions of Megalania. This is why I have no idea where to rank this creature. The sizes are all over the place, from anywhere between 1 to 2 tons. A few scientists gave this animal a maximum of 700 to 1,000 kilograms, but nobody knows for sure. It was about 7.1 meters long. At number 9, we have Megistotherium osteothlastes. This killer was an extinct genus of hyenodont belonging to the family Hyaeniluridae, and lived about 19 to 14 million years ago in the early Eocene in Africa. This massive hyena wolf-like animal was the biggest fully meat-eating land mammal to ever exist. Megistotherium cousin Simbakubwa was thought to have been 1,500 kilograms, but was downsized to 400 kilograms, since that weight was an overestimate and scaled with large failed estimates. It would have hunted proboscideans such as Gomphotheres and Prodinotherium. This animal had a massive skull around 2 feet and 2.1 inches long. The size of this animal has been very controversial. If the sizes we had for this beast was 880 kilograms, then it was downsized to around 500 to 618 kilograms. And for the most recent mass for this animal, we have 700 to 1,300 kilograms, according to some bigger jaw fragment specimens. This makes Megistotherium the biggest fully meat-eating land carnivorous mammal ever. The length was about 4 meters and stood about 2 meters tall. The only serious competition it had was Amphision giganteus. At number 8, we have Parentelodon intermedium. Parentelodon is an extinct entelodont from the late Oligocene and Oligocene to Miocene boundary of Asia, about 20 million years ago. It was the biggest entelodon ever. Some researchers suggest that it was either ancestral to or shared an ancestor with Daeodon during a late Oligocene Beringian immigration. As with other entelodonts, it was an omnivore that had enabled it to crush bone and dig for tubers like its North American relatives. Its skull would have exceeded 3 feet. The size would have been 3.5 meters long and 2 meters in height. The mass was estimated to be around 1,500 kilograms. Our number 7, we have Prestosuchus chiniquensis. This massive pseudosuchian lived about 242 to 235 million years ago in the Middle Triassic period. Like its relatives, Prestosuchus had a deep skull and serrated teeth. Prestosuchus probably walked on 4 legs like crocodilians, but unlike crocodilians, it had an upright, semi-erect stance with limb bones placed below the hips. Rauisuchians, like Prestosuchus, are usually seen as ambush predators, rearing up and delivering a strong bite to the back of a target animal. It is also thought to be the biggest Triassic land predator, but is in competition with Erythrosuchus and Phaslosuchus for that spot. The size for this killer is 7 meters long and 1.6 meters tall, and had an estimated weight of 1,600 kilograms. At number 6, Phaslosuchus tenax. In northwestern Argentina, that dated back to the Norian stage of the late Triassic, about 220 to 213 million years ago. It's one of the last Rauisuchians to have existed before the order became extinct at the end of the Triassic. It hunted prosauropods and other large animals and was outmatched during its time at top predator. It was a relative of Postosuchus and Prestosuchus, but was thought to be much bigger. This animal had estimates of 3 to 4 tons in the past, but now it is much smaller, around 1,500 plus kilograms at the moment. It could have been bigger or smaller. The length is about 7 to 8 meters and it stood about 1.6 meters tall. At number 5, Erythrosuchus africanus. This bobblehead-looking land crocodile is an extinct genus of archosauriform reptiles from the Triassic of South Africa about 249 to 244 million years ago. It walked on all fours and had limbs positioned semi-vertically under its body, unlike the more sprawling gait of most earlier reptiles. Its head was large and theropod-like, reaching a length of 1 meter 3.3 feet, and had sharp, conical teeth. Its skull was incredibly large for its size, meaning it had one of the strongest bites on any land animal. It was thought to have been able to swim and hunt basically anything if it could take a chunk out of it. Also, this animal is referred to as the biggest Triassic land predator ever, and possibly surpassing Prestosuchus and Phaseolus. The size of this animal from the most reliable sources is 5 meters long and 1 to 1.3 meters tall. The mass for this killer was about 1,600 to 1,800 kilograms according to some estimates. At number 4, we have Ankylosaurus magnificus. This is an extinct genus of large carnivorous dinocephalian synapsid. It lived at the end of the Guadalupian Middle Permian during the Capetanian stage, about 265 to 260 million years ago in what is now South Africa. Is mainly known by cranial remains and few postcranial bones. Ankylosaurus was the largest known carnivorous non-mammalian synapsid and the largest terrestrial fully meat-eating predator of the Permian period. It was incredibly robust and had a massive skull with large canines. The size for this animal used to be 600 kilograms, but with a new GDI, we have a new reconstruction. This new size is 6 meters long and 1.7 meters tall, and a mass of 1,541 kilograms. At number 3, we have Megalochorus humungus. This massive pig-like animal lived about 20 million years ago in the Oligocene to Miocene. It was the largest known suid, reaching the size of a gomphothere, a massive elephant-like animal. Like most boars and pigs, it was omnivorous. Judging by its size, it could probably hunt some smaller animals if it wanted to, but probably preferred scavenging or stealing away kills. Also, this animal was not an entelodont, and entelodons are not even real pigs. The size of this massive pig was 3.84 meters long and 2.2 meters tall, and weighed anywhere between 1,600 to 2,200 kilograms. It could have been bigger as well. At number 2, Birenosuchus arvaloi. This animal lived about 42.2 to 11.8 million years ago in the mid-Eocene to mid-Miocene. This was the biggest land carnivore of the Cenozoic, even surpassing the short-faced bears Diodon, Paraentelodon, and Megistotherium. It basically was a giant land crocodile like Prestosuchus. Like other Sebacosuchians, it was a terrestrial carnivore equipped with ziphidont teeth, remarkably similar to those of theropods, which are compressed laterally, curved facing backwards, and with serrated borders. This dentition made it a formidable predator. It is estimated that the total skull length was between 95 and 115 centimeters. The size for this animal is thought to have been around 7 to 8 meters and 1.6 plus meters tall, and possibly a weight of 1,700 kilograms, with the highest around 1,800 to 2,000 plus kilograms. Finally, at number 1, Juncaria hautoni. Juncaria is an extinct genus of dinocephalians that lived in the Permian about 265 to 260 million years ago. This species was very large and omnivorous. The snout is elongated and provided with sharp incisors and large canines. The cheek teeth were small, the body is robustly built, and the limbs stout. It is basically a bigger Titanosuchus, but with shorter limbs. It would have been one of the top predators and preying on anything it could catch or stealing kills from the massive Ankylosaurus. The Ankylosaurus would only challenge Juncaria if it had no choice, since this beast was much more massive. This giant was 5 meters long and 2.2 meters tall, and weighed 2,200 plus kilograms. This makes Juncaria the biggest non-dinosaur predator to ever exist. Anyways, guys, I hope you learned some new animals today, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Many more content on the way, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you like this content. Everyone, take care now.
Smoking on the split, but I burn up the boots. Off the top, ain't no roof. Heard he talk, but don't shoot. Ho, start down on my name and talk behind my back. I just wanna be loyal, stack up and get rich. Get my moms out the crib, perform songs and do hits.